Hey. What are you doing out here? It's not safe for you to be out here this late. You know that. Me? I guess I just couldn't sleep. I've just had so much on my mind recently. What with everything that's going on. Come on. If you're going to join me, why don't you come sit? You know, I've always found looking up at the night sky calming. There are so many different stories told about the constellations. It's nice to just sit and remember them all. You know? Take this one for example. If you look up there, can you see Virgo? Well, she can be a little hard to find, so let me help. Do you see the Big Dipper? Just over there? I know you know what that one looks like. If you follow the line of the handle down, past the constellations of Boötes, do you see that bright star there? That's Arcturus, the brightest star in the constellation. Now, if you follow it down, you'll see the next brightest star. Just there. Do you see it? That's Spica, the top of the ear of corn that Virgo holds. Over time, many sailors and travelers have used it as a navigational tool, as it will always appear in the southeast. Can you see her now? Oh, good. Good. Oh, I'm surprised you remembered, Townie. If you believe in the zodiac, then yes, I am a Virgo. You know, many of the ancient cultures associated the constellation Virgo with the harvest, but also with innocence and justice. She's close to the constellation Libra, and it can sometimes look like she's holding the scales up. For example, the ancient Egyptians used to use several of the stars in the constellation, including Spica, to predict the flooding of the Nile and the best time for their harvests. The ancient Greeks had many goddesses they associated with Virgo, including the Titan goddess Astrea, sometimes called Asteria. She was the daughter of the Titans Astraeus and Eos, the god of stars and astrology, and the goddess of dawn. Astrea was the goddess of justice, truth, and innocence, and during the first reign of mortals, she used to walk among them. As the golden age of man turned to the bronze, she became increasingly disillusioned by the growing corruption, lawlessness, and cruelty of man and fled to the stars, becoming the constellation Virgo. To the ancient Egyptians, they saw Virgo as the divine symbol for their goddess Isis, the divine mother and protector of the dead. They saw the constellation as a celestial embodiment of her nurturing love, and when she appeared, she would bring better harvests. You're looking a little chilly there. Is the night air getting to you? Really, if you were going to follow me out here, you should have worn your cloak. Here. If you come closer, I can wrap my cloak around you, and we can indulge in each other's body heat. Now, where was I? Do you remember me pointing out the constellation Boötes when I showed you how to find Virgo? Can you see the kite shape, and what looks to perhaps be arms or legs? They say Boötes is one of the oldest known constellations, and whilst it has no specific stories like many of the other constellations, most ancient cultures agreed it was either a shepherd or a cart driver. Boötes was also seen as a protector, especially as that star there, the bright orange-colored one, is known as Arcturus, and was seen as a guardian of sorts. Are you enjoying my stories? I'm not boring you, am I? It's been far too long since I have had anyone to share these tales with, besides Cassie. And she usually falls asleep before I even finish one. Would you like to hear another? Let me think. Do you remember where I said Spica was? If you follow it just a little to the south, do you see the odd square shape? With that tiny little star near to the bottom corner? That's Corvus the Raven. If you look, you can see that the bird almost looks as if it's pecking at Spica, eating from the corn Virgo holds. In both Greek and Norse mythology, Corvus was seen as a celestial messenger and tied to various myths regarding both crows and ravens. The ancient Greeks tied it most closely to the sun god Apollo and his white crow. One of the myths speaks of how Apollo fell in love with a woman named Coronis, and he would send the crow to watch over her. When the crow returned with news of Coronis and her infidelity and betrayal, Apollo punished not only the mortal Coronis, but also her lover, another mortal named Ischys. He then punished the crow for being slow to deliver the news, turning its feathers from white to black and condemning it to eternal thirst, made worse by its proximity to the constellation for Hydra, a water serpent. In Norse mythology, Corvus is tied to the stories of Odin and his two ravens, Hugin and Munin, one named for thought and the other memory. They serve not only as Odin's messengers, but also as his informants, flying tirelessly across the globe to find new information and report it back to him. Hugin and Munin acted as his constant watchmen, making sure Odin was aware of the actions of mortals and gods alike at all times. Both ravens and crows have been seen as symbols of intelligence, communication, and wisdom across most of history, making sense as they are incredibly intelligent birds. It's getting colder out, so perhaps we should go inside. If you like, we can come out another night in the future, and I can help you find the constellation for your own zodiac. Thank you for coming to find me. You remind me of all that is good in the world, and you prove every day that I don't need to do things alone. Now, come along. I'm sure you're exhausted. If you would like to hear more of my stories, or if you like this audio and want to see more, you should subscribe to the channel. If you're one of our adult fans, you should consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/Celesterra. Or you can order your own personal audio at anagomi.com/commissions. Until next time.